Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. This is your host Ram back on the cricket show once again. A bit late today. Sorry about it, but I'm here back to talk about cricket. And well, in the Indian Premier League, the Tata Indian Premier League 2022 saw two matches today, and both were one sided affairs, one could call it. And the thing was that Sunrisers Hyderabad finally managed to open their account in the Tata IPL 2022 with a win over CSK, and also Chennai Super Kings and Mumbai Indians, two real powerhouses in the IPL, have still not opened their account. Victories there. In fact, the Mumbai Indians lost to the RCB, and the Super Kings, the Chennai Super Kings, lost to Sunrisers Hyderabad. Sunrisers Hyderabad winning the match by 8 wickets. At the other side, it was the Mumbai Indians in Pune losing as Royal Challengers won the match by 7 wickets. We're talking about both these games. We had two youngsters on either side of the matches doing a wonderful job. Abhishek Sharma going on to make 75 priceless runs, one could call, and the other side, Anuj Rawat, was showing his hitting skills in full measure. So it was a real treat as far as IPL was concerned. The other thing that I will be talking to you is the South Africa versus Bangladesh match. The Bangladesh are really staring down the barrel right now with trailing by 314 runs going into day three in the second test match between Bangladesh and South Africa. I'll be coming back to that, but first we'll talk about the IPL. So first, let me talk about this particular. Before I go into the IPL, let me talk about yesterday's match in with the Gujarat Titans. Got a victory over the not Lahore, I'm sorry, over the Lucknow Super Giants on the last ball with Rahul Tewatia hitting two sixes of the bowling of the West Indian bowler Odion Smith. 19 runs required, absolute harakiri there. David Miller pushing the ball, trying to get in the other end. Hardik Pandya who has to go to the strikers end. The wicketkeeper actually pulls off throws down the stumps at the batting end, and Hardik Pandya is caught out of the crease. Hardik Pandya is absolutely miffed. 19 runs to win of the final over. He's not happy at all. After that, David Miller takes a single, and then Tewatia. And after that, as I said, it all came down to the wire. 2 balls and 12 runs to get. Immense pressure. Odion Smith was the bowler, but it was Rahul Tewatia slogging him into the crowd twice with such consistency and such calmness. And we know this is the man, Rahul Tewatia. And also Gujarat Titans, this new team led by Hardik Pandya, is doing a wonderful job in the Tata IPL 2000. They are making their debut, and they are doing a wonderful job. But let's talk about Rahul Tewatia. Rahul Tewatia in the first game, as not in the first game, in the previous IPL or the before, I don't remember which IPL. He clattered Sheldon Cottrell, the West Indian bowler, for 5 sixes and an over. He absolutely got from deep slumber and absolutely murdered the bowling at that time. And here, 12 runs. But again, you require a lot of nerves and calmness to do that. And he did it with such ease. And that was the thing which was a real thing to really talk about. But nevertheless, so I just wanted to touch on that. But now I'm getting into the today's matches. The first match that was played was between Chennai Super Kings and Sunrisers Hyderabad. Now, this particular pitch at the D.Y. Patil Stadium was a pitch which was a bit of not a dicey pitch basically, but the ball was stopping and the stroke making was not so easy as one would have thought it out to be. But probably Sunrisers Hyderabad probably got the luck of the toss, one could say, as they inserted the Chennai Super Kings into bat first. The Chennai Super Kings, well, if you look at the scorecard there, they finished with 154 for 7. And there was Washington Sundar. What a fine job he did with the ball. He really, he's someone we all know that he's a very good T20 bowler. He's been away for a long time, but he's definitely showing what one has been missing. Washington Sundar, 4 overs, no more than 221, bowled superbly. Jansen 1 for 30. Bhuvneshwar Kumar 1 for 36. Natarajan was superb. The ball that the wicket which he took, Ruturaj Gaikwad first up, the very, very first delivery, he clattered the stumps of Ruturaj Gaikwad. I have to say, Ruturaj Gaikwad is really searching for form, but definitely looked good in his 16 of 13 deliveries with 3 boundaries. Natarajan bowled an absolute corker. It was on the middle stump, and it angled in as a Gaikwad shaped for the flick shot. And it was all over. There was a batsman pad gap, and the stumps was played. That was the end of Rituraj Gaikwad. Moin Ali was the one who played a very sweet little innings of 48 of 35 deliveries, which included 3 fours and 2 sixes. Raidu contributed 27 of as many balls with 4 fours. Dubey was trying to play a shot of the bowling of Natarajan, fell into the Imran Malik's hands. He was gone for just 3. And then the pressure started. There was real pressure. The runs were not coming, and as I said, stroke making was not so easy. And finally, the captain was there in the end. He hit 2 good 6s in the end of the bowling of, I think it was Bhuvneshwar Kumar, to get to 23 of 15 deliveries, 2 4s and 1 6. Dhoni was out cheaply to the bowling of Jansen for 3. And finally, Bravo was not out on 8 and Jordan not out 6. And the total reached 154 for 7. But definitely, under the circumstances, one could probably say that was not a par total. Looking at the bowling, as I said, we spoke about Kumar and Jansen. Washington Sundar was excellent. Natarajan was very good. Umran Malik, even though he bowled 5 fastest deliveries today, when you look at the fastest deliveries bowled in this particular match, the man who stood like a beacon. Normally they show five balls, which is the fastest, and he absolutely hogged the limelight there. I mean, he was bowling at 150 clicks. They were showing it on the telly, and it was really good to see Imran Malik bowling with consistent pace. Yes, he was taken for runs. That's quite a different thing altogether. But he showed raw pace, and that's what it really excites everybody when you have a look at Umran Malik. 3 overs, none for 29. He could not get a wicket. That is still okay, according to me. And now it was Sunrisers Hyderabad's turn to go and chase down this target, which was set up by the CSK. And CSK were hunting for their first victory, as we know, in the IPL. It all started. Kane Williamson had a new partner, Abhishek Sharma, opening with him. What an youngster. I mean, he really showed, real courage to play some strokes. And some of his strokes were absolutely stunning. He was just playing through the line of the ball. Some beautiful lofted strokes also of Mahesh Deekshana, the carom ball bowler. And he really picked up the length pretty quickly and smashed him for 6s as well. What a knock from Abhishek Sharma. In fact, Kane Williamson was more of a sort of a sedate partner, but he also did his job of holding, and they put up a wonderful partnership, which was 89 runs, which really, really set the stage for the Sunrisers Hyderabad when Williamson was a victim of the bowling of Mukesh Chowdhury. He was gone for 32 40 deliveries, 2 4s and 1 6. Rahul Tripathi joined Abhishek Sharma, and the plundering continued as finally Sunrisers Hyderabad winning the match in the 17.4 overs, 155 for 2. Abhishek Sharma, what a knock. I mean, what a knock from this young bloke. Abhishek Sharma looked in serene touch, one could call. And his first 50, I suppose, 75, his highest score in IPL 2. 75 or 50 deliveries, which included 5 4s and 3 6s. And good to see these youngsters coming to the fore for India. Abhishek Sharma looked pretty good. Rahul Tripathi, as is his wont, he really is not someone who is going to hang around there. He likes to play his strokes. He clattered 39 unbeaten runs of 15 deliveries, 5 4s and 2 6s. Puran was not on 5. Game over. Sunrisers Hyderabad winning the match. If we look at the bowling, Mukesh Chowdhury looked good in patches. 4 overs on for 30. Mahesh Deekshana, 4 overs on for 31. Jordan was absolutely stunned with the strokes that Abhishek Sharma was playing. He was just picking it up and hoiking it away into the fence. Over the fence. 3 overs none for 34. Jadeja, 3 overs none for 21. Moin Ali, none for 10. And Dwayne Bravo also got taken for runs. Abhishek Sharma and Tripathi climbing into Bravo as well, 1 for 29. So that really left the Chennai Super Kings still hunting for their first ever points in Indian Premier League 2022. And I really, as I said, Abhishek Sharma, without a shadow of doubt, was the man of the match. And what an innings he played. Now his confidence has gone so much that when he was asked, he said in the post-match interview, he said that now he would like to get the ball and do something with the ball. That really shows the confidence that builds up once you get a good knock there. And I think Abhishek Sharma looking a fine prospect now. Let's get on to the other match. We go on to Pune now from Mumbai. We're going to Pune. It is the 18th match of the Tata IPL 2022. Mumbai Indians were taking on Royal Challengers. All the pressure on Mumbai Indians, the immense pressure one could call, as Mumbai Indians is like Chennai Super Kings were yet to get off the mark in Tata IPL 2022. Again, the toss was very vital. The RCB went on to win the toss and invited the Mumbai Indians to take to batting first. And Mumbai Indians, all eyes were on the openers, Rohit Sharma and Ishan Kishan. Rohit Sharma was definitely looking good with some nice strokes that he played, which he normally does. Mohammad Siraj was taken for runs at plenty. In fact, he leaked 51 runs of his 4 overs. And that was not one would have expected from Mohammad Siraj, as he's the strike bowler there. Willie bowled only 2 overs. One does not know what was the reason. He was very economical, 2 overs done for 8. But Mohammad Siraj was taken for runs by both Ishan Kishan and Rohit Sharma. And that was a good partnership. That was, even though I thought as far as the only reason one could say, unlike the other match where the ball was stopping and coming, this particular match in Pune, as you know, there is some zip in the pitch as well. And there was some juice in the pitch, and we saw the ball swinging early on. So it was all about the initial stages, and then you could carry on. That's what precisely the thing. It was something different than what happened in Mumbai. And Rohit Sharma and Ishan Kishan put on 50 runs for the first wicket in 6.2 overs. Ishan Kishan contributing 26 of 28, 3 boundaries. Rohit Sharma looked in very good touch, one could call, with 26 before Harshal Patel, one of the slower deliveries. He has a sleight of hand, one could call, and he deceived Rohit Sharma with a slow off cutter. And Rohit Sharma played it back to Aishal Patel, who gleefully accepted it. 26 of 15, 4 fours and 1 6. End of Rohit Sharma. 50 for 1. And then Brevis, as you know, he's another talented bloke who has a 360-degree game like the ABD Villiers of South Africa. And Devon Brevis is also from South Africa, as you know. But Hasaranga De Silva got Devon Brevis LBW for just 8 runs as he played for the turn, but he played all round it, and he was LBW. And then the only man who really, and then not only that, Hasaranga also got rid of Kieron Pollard, another big wicket of the very first delivery. Kieron Pollard is another one who was not showing good technique there. It was the googly which was zipping in, and he did hit the backlog of Pollard, and Pollard was gone. But the man it was really a sort of a crumbling situation for Mumbai Indians. Things were not really going their way. Then Tilak Verma compounded matters with Glenn Maxwell playing his first match after returning back. What a run out by Glenn Maxwell. Maxwell, as you know, recently got married as well to an Indian. And he effected a beautiful run out. I mean, he just swooped onto the ball, and Tilak Verma has been doing a great job in this IPL. Could not do much as he was out for a blob. Kieron Pollard also left for a blob, and Ramandeep Singh was out for 6, and everything was on Surya Kumar Yadav. But what an innings from Surya Kumar Yadav! If not for Surya Kumar Yadav, who thrashed 68 unbeaten runs of 37 deliveries, which included 6 sixes and 5 fours, a sparkling innings from Surya Kumar Yadav, which really got the Mumbai Indians to a total that they could defend of 151 for 6. In the end, it was not enough. That's quite a different story. But Surya Kumar Yadav, my word, what an innings from him. I mean, when he plays the strokes, it looks so easy on the eye, and he's so innovative, such an innovative player. And as I said, it was a sparkling innings from this very, very bright player, Surya Kumar Yadav. And if not for him, Not for his 68. Mumbai Indians would have struggled big time. 151 for 6. Bowling, as I said, Siraj went taken for runs at plenty. Hasranga was impressive today. He really bowled a good line and he was rewarded with 2 for 28. Two big wickets he took, Brevis and Kiran Pollard. Akashdeep was superb with his spell today. He was right on the money. 4 overs on made 1 for 20. Harshal Patel, as usual, as you know, he's someone who is a very wily bowler. He's a very intelligent bowler. 4 overs, no went for 23. And Shahbaz Ahmed, 2 overs went for 19. 151 for 6 on this track, as I said. Initially, it was the moment, and we could see and the Royal Challengers Bangalore were chasing this target with the captain Anju Rawat at the crease. The ball was moving about. Jaydev Unadkat and Basil Tampi were not able to probably move the ball to the same way, but there was definitely some movement. And Duplessis was kept quiet. But at the other end, Anuj Rawat, like how Abhishek Sharma did it in the previous match, against for the other team in the first match. We saw another youngster coming to the fore, and this was Anuj Rawat. What stroke making and what striking that was. That was absolute great ball striking. And the commentators were telling that even he was coming down the wicket to the spinners or any of the bowlers, his head was absolutely still. And that is a very, very perfect way of coming and lofting the bowler. He was coming on twinkling feet, and one saw the sort of a very, very bold batsman in the form of Anuj Rawat, and he was the one who was turning it on for the Royal Challengers in the chase with 50 runs taken of 8.1 overs, and Duplessis fell a victim to Inatkat for 16 of 24. That was 1-4, but Anuj Rawat was simply superb. Nothing made a difference to him, whether it was the pace bowlers or the spinners. He also went after Bumrah, and he was really carving the ball to all corners of the field. And look at the 6 sixes that he hit. That really tells you the story. 6 sixes and 2 4s embedded his knock of 66 or 47. It was very sad that he was run out with Virat Kohli as his partner. But what an innings. This innings will go a long way. He also collected his maiden 50 in Tata IPL 2022, which will have given him a real confidence boost, no doubt about that. And Anuj Rawat, magnificent innings, one caught 66. He had already set the platform for the Royal Challengers win there. And Virat Kohli in the stay at the crease was simply superb. He was looking the old Virat Kohli. He was coming down the wicket. He was charging down the wicket sometimes, and he was rotating the strike as he normally does. And his stroke making was looking perfect today. Everything about it was flowing very well, and he made 48 of 36, 5-4. That was a real partnership of 80 runs, which came in pretty quick time. If you look at it, it probably came in 8 overs. 8 overs and 5 balls, but it was pretty quick, 10 runs per over, with Anuj Rawat slamming the ball to all corners of the field. And Virat Kohli was the first victim of Brevis, who was given the ball. As I said, Bumrah also got a sort of stick from Virat Kohli, who hooked him for 4, but Anuj Rawat hooked him for a 6. And also Dinesh Karthik put Jasprit Bumrah into the stands as well. And Virat Kohli, as I said, good innings, but what a moment for this young boy, Brevis of South Africa. He had Virat Kohli, LBW. Virat Kohli was absolutely, I would say, he was totally miffed when the review went against him. And but nevertheless, he kept on saying words when he was walking into the pavilion, but probably cooled down when he was actually shaking hands. But that was another good innings from Virat Kohli. He should have definitely got his 50, but unfortunately, he was out 48 of 36 dealt with 5 fours, but definitely a good boost for him as well. Dinesh Karthik, Glenn Maxwell finished off the match with a nice switch hit. First, he hit a switch hit and then hit a boundary, and in the 18.3 overs, they completed the target. Dinesh Karthik was not out on 7 with 1-6. And as I said, Dinesh Karthik looks in tremendous touch as he just dispatched Bumrah from his place, one could call, with that 6. It was all over, 7-wicket victory, and Anuj Rawat was named man of the match. The bowling, Tampi looked good, I thought. 4 overs on, even Nakat was go for 30. Bumrah definitely looking off color today, done for 31. Sorry, Murugan Ashwin was looking good. He was trying to, but later on, Anuj Rawat went after him, none for 26. Kiran Pollard, he was none for 24, and Brevis, 1 for 8. So that's the IPL. Now we turn our attention to the match between the test match, the second test match, which is played at the name is second test was played Kebera, as you call it, the Bangladesh tour of South Africa. Second test match between South Africa and Bangladesh, and South Africa amassed a very huge total of 453. They were bowled out for 453. I mean, if you look at 453, probably one would feel that there would have been a century. But unfortunately, there was no century. And the highest scorer was an unusual person. And it was Keshav Maharaj, the all-rounder, making 84 runs with 9 fours and 3 sixes, an aggressive knock at that. And really good to see Keshav Maharaj. This was the highest score in Test cricket as well for Keshav Maharaj. And as I said, nobody could reach a century. If you look at the score, everybody contributed. Dean Elgar made 70, 10 boundaries. Sarah Lerby was on for 24. Keegan Peterson made 64 with 9 boundaries. Bavuma made 67 with 7 boundaries. Ryan Rickleton made 42 with 3 fours and 1 6. Vereen 22. Mulder 33. Maharaj 84. Simon Harmer contributed 29 as well. And 453 that the South Africans made, that was really something that they really, and there was some sort of needle as well. As we know, there's some. I mean, the Bangladeshis had objected to they objected that there was a lot of sledging going on, but we still saw that sledging still continuing today as well. With both not really giving an inch, one could call, whether the Bangladeshis or South Africans, and so that was what which was going on. But as I said, South Africans have done very well here to put up 453 on the board. The bowling, Khalid Ahmed at 3 for 100, 1 for 85. They had to really toil for the wickets. But Taijul Islam, the left-arm spinner, who has always made it a habit of picking up a lot of fifers, bowled superbly. 50 overs, 10 maidens, 135 runs, and 6 wickets in his bag. And he is someone who always has made it a habit, I would say, of getting a fifer every time he comes and bowls for Bangladesh. Well done, Tajul Islam. And looking at the Bangladesh reply, they are in absolute trouble, one could call. Considering that they are trailing by 340 runs. They closed the second day at 139 for 5. Mulder was the man who did the damage. He picked up 3 wickets along with Oliver, who picked up 2 wickets, both sharing the spoils. Duan Oliver, 9 overs, 4 minutes, 2 for 17. And Mulder is someone who really, with a lot of wind blowing there, the conditions were cloudy, and that is the time when this is something which is really suited to the type of bowling for Ryan Mulder. With 6 overs, 3 minutes, 15 runs, and 3 wickets, he broke the back of the Bangladeshi batting lineup. Tamim Iqbal played a good knock. I mean, what one saw is that they lost Mahmoodul Hussain Joy pretty early in the piece. Was caught by Airy of the bowling of Oliver as he actually tried to get a push onto the ball, and the ball took the edge, and probably the ball was swinging, and that was the end of Mahmoodul Hussain Joy. He was out for a duck. Tamim Iqbal and Najmul Hussain Shanto joined hands, and they decided that attack is the best form of defense against the South Africans, and they really started hammering some boundaries. And it was a phase of play where runs were really cascading, one could call. But finally, the first wicket to go was Mulder. Mulder actually picking up the wicket of Tamim Iqbal. As I said, nice cloudy conditions. Ball is moving about, and this is where Mulder can really capitalize. His one on Philander, the com box hinted to. And he was, as Tamim tried to play a shot, he was gone. LBW 47 with 8 boundaries. Najmul Hussain Shanto also was LBW bowled Mulder for 33 with 6 boundaries. Mominul Haq followed him. He was LBW bowled Mulder. So Mulder actually getting the ball to swing, getting the ball to really move about, and that was what brought he got 3 LBW decisions against the Bangladeshi batsmen, with the ball actually, the stock ball actually swerving in. Mushfiqur and they also lost Lytton Das, who was clean bowled by Duan Oliver. His middle stump was knocked back as that was a cross seam delivery, and he probably Litton Das wanted to, wanted to just push him through there, and it took out the middle stump. That was the end of Litton Das, and that really put a real pressure on Mushfiqur Rahim. Mushfiqur Rahim, at the end, one could see the relief on his face because he was totally happy once the day ended at 139 for 5 with Yasir Ali not out on 8, and Mushfiqur Rahim himself surviving a very good spell of bowling from the South African bowlers, Duan Oliver and Van Mulder. Mushfiqur Rahim was not out on 30 with 5 boundaries, 139 for 5. The Bangladeshis trailing by 314 runs. Hard work to do. They already lost half of their side here. Another 5 wickets remain. I think they have their task cut out tomorrow. Let's see. Their 41 overs are old, so definitely the ball is still old, so they definitely have a chance tomorrow. And with the dew factor coming, and also one has to keep in view the cloudy conditions as well. Duan Oliver as a 270, Lizard Williams also bowled well, done for 30. Simon Harmer, so spinners could not get through. Keshav Maharaj and Simon Harmer could not get amongst the wickets. There was 142. So that is a match situation, and I think Bangladesh have a long way to go in the second Test match. It would be the key would be, according to me, Mushfiqur Rahim would definitely be the key. And other than that, they have Mehdi Hasan Miraz. They can trust him because we know that Mehdi Hasan Miraz is a wonderful all-rounder. So probably they still have, but Mushfiqur Rahim's presence at the crease will be very vital. I think Mushfiqur Rahim has to probably carry his bat through the innings, if at all. Be there till the end, if at all Bangladesh has to put up a score whereby they could whittle down the lead and not concede a lot of lead to the South Africans. So that's coming on day 3. So that's it from me, your host Ram, for the cricket show for today. Tomorrow we have 2 matches coming up in the IPL 2022. I'll be back with you to talk about that as well. And it was a real pleasure bringing you this cricket show, Cricket Happenings. Hope you all loved the broadcast and look forward to your company tomorrow once again on a Sunday, talking about the Tata IPL 2022 on the also the third day's play between South Africa and Bangladesh. Until then, it's good night.